For me, though, I actually enjoyed this the most out of the last 3 weeks of kind of TV special events. And it was chiefly because great wrestling and this incredible storyline that has been running for, well, since October, since Dynamite started. And that I can see it working across the entire chessboard. And I think I know where it's going to go. But at the same time, I think there are multiple options it can go down. This is fantastic storytelling, and it's the tale of the elite. Not just Kenny and this potential heel turn that we really strongly saw hints of here, but also Hangman Page fracturing away from the group. What are the Young Bucks going to do? And Cody seems to be going down his own heelish path.
Yeah, and this was some really, really incredible storytelling stuff, because I think since, the start of this year, we've been looking at, when is Hangman Page going to be the one to turn? And then we started to get a lot of people, because Hangman Page, after he became the tag champ, got massively over as a babyface because people were so invested in the story and loved seeing the cowboy do some cowboy S-word. So then we started to see the flip the other side of people sending in super chats and discussions being about, what if it's Kenny? What if Kenny's the one that turns heel? And I hadn't really thought about it much, but this show kind of said to me, it's like, maybe that is the right way to go when the crowds come back and they're going to be really happy to see Hangman Page. What if it's Kenny's the one that actually turns and goes back into that cleaner mode, which is, it's been teased on being the elite?
I've been saying it from January, February time. I've been saying, like, look, Hangman Page is getting over so much as this badass babyface in front of the crowd that I think the actual money is in turning Kenny and the Young Bucks heel, and Page is kind of this anti-hero uber face, which is crazy to say, and a real masterclass of booking, because I don't think this is by accident. I don't think AEW have changed their plans to turn Kenny heel and Hangman Page face because of the audience reaction. Especially at the moment, there is no audience reaction. I think this was all a designed plan to get Page over as the three-dimensional babyface, because when they first tried it against Chris Jericho, he was out of his depth and he didn't have that extra layer, which he now has. And it is so connecting with me as a viewer, and I think with everyone else. And to be honest, have I ever been into Kenny Omega as a babyface? No, he's very good. He's very good. But when I think of Kenny, I still think of Cleaner. I think of Bullet Club leader. I think of Good Night and Good Luck. So this is the Kenny that I want.
And it was so interesting. Oh, I love this. But like a couple of weeks ago when you had that segment with FTR and the Young Bucks, when, they tipped the beer out and they did all of this sort of, or Kenny Omega tipped the beer out, and it was like, it's a bit of a dick move, that Kenny. Be like, yeah, but you can also see the other side of it. Kenny here came out, I got a bit frustrated today when I turned on Twitter to see Jimmy Corderas, who I think just watches AEW to have a whinge about it on Twitter and rile people up. And he completely worked me in that regard, where he said, like, oh God, can you imagine having the best wrestler in the world sell for Marko Stunt? And I'm like, oh mate, you've totally missed the point then, because it all builds on from the segment that came just before that, which is where he came out to address FTR after they beat the Lucha Bros, to be like, hey, look, really sorry about the beer situation. Here's a beer. I might even have a drink with you, even though I'm teetotal. That's how much I'm changing my ways. And they were like, nope. And they dunk the beer over Kenny Omega. So Kenny then starts freaking out. The Young Bucks are pulling him back. So he then comes out for this match against Jurassic Express, not trying. He is not in Kenny mode. He doesn't even take his t-shirt off. You've got the commentators putting over so hard. Kenny is not taking this seriously whatsoever. So then when he gets embarrassed by Marko Stunt, it just fuels him even further. So you have Marko Stunt embarrassing him and FTR embarrassing him, that makes him snap after this match and continues to beat it down. But what I loved about this is when he's beating it down, when he's beating down Marko after the match, and you've got Luchasaurus kind of pulling him aside, being like, what's going on? And Kenny just goes, it's part of the match. And Luchasaurus goes, it was after the match. And Kenny's like, yeah, well, it's just part of the match, isn't it? It's just part of the business.
Oh, he's such a good actor. That's it. Like, wrestlers are great wrestlers, but very rarely, though, do you get very good wrestlers who are also genuinely believable. I would buy them in a TV network drama kind of actor. And that's what Kenny has here. And to tell that story of frustration, and the way Stunt is booked, I think is brilliant. It's similar to Orange Cassidy in that low effort mode, where it's not that he is physically hurting people. It's almost like he's annoying people. He's this gnat. It's always it's some force of momentum that gets him to do a tornado DDT or a Hurricane Rana or an insane Canadian destroyer on Nick Jackson off of Luchasaurus's shoulders and into the ring. Like, that's how you book Marko. It doesn't actually physically hurt people. Which it plays into this humiliation side of Omega and how much pettier that is.
Yeah.
And I just think, he didn't just show that kind of disregard of the rules and kind of, like you said, lying to Jurassic Express. He also came across as quite psychotic. He was Joker-style smiling and laughing at the end. Not in an overdone way, which a lot of people tend to do, I feel. I thought he struck that balance perfectly.
One of my favorite spots off the match where you saw, this is Kenny being a bit psychotic, and this is not the same Kenny Omega we've been seeing, for the last few months or so, is so Marko's against the ring and Kenny's setting up to do the V-trigger, and Luchasaurus sort of jumps in to protect Marko Stunt and be like, don't hit my friend. So Kenny just goes like, right, I'll just F you instead then. So he just runs up and F's Luchasaurus in the face to be like, right, and now he's mine. And then when Marko Stunt gets another near fall on him, he's just like, right, that is it, you little brat. Lifts him up, and it's this wicked one-wing angel to get the win. I thought Kenny was... I really enjoyed the 6-man anyway, because, it's the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega versus Jurassic Express. It's always going to be dead fun. Particularly, I thought Jungle Boy was awesome in it. But I thought Kenny was just on another level. And you couple that, you've got Hangman Page watching backstage with the drink and FTR approach him.
This is it. This is the larger tapestry that AEW just Marvel Cinematic Universe in their way into. Like, this is Tony Khan might as well be Kevin Feige right now, because you've not just got Kenny splitting from the Elite, seemingly, because there's a lot of tension between him and Hangman Page. The tag team champions, they've got this kind of professional relationship. Page has already said it's no longer a friendship. This is a professional thing. But, how long is that going to take if Kenny keeps acting out in this way? When is Page going to sort of put his morals above professionalism and say, mate, stop it? And where are the Bucks going to fall in this? Like, the Bucks, to me, they kind of work heel occasionally. I see them siding with Omega. FTR, it feels like the long feud is FTR versus the Bucks. So that would put FTR with Hangman Page. There's a combination I never knew I wanted. However, in the larger AEW universe, Tully Blanchard has been out scouting for people in matches. And it seems to be only for Cody matches and FTR matches. And there's been a lot of Four Horsemen teases. And we've said ourselves, I think a super chatter first asked it, FTR, Sean Spears and Cody Rhodes with Arn and Tully as a new Four Horsemen. Now that's a faction I can get behind, with a heel Elite and a Hangman Page rogue member. Oh,
well, it was amazing. So someone tweeted me today to sort of give in their sort of 2 cents on this subject and post something that I didn't really think about, because I always thought All Out, All Out 2, we're going to be building towards FTR versus the Young Bucks, because that's the match, right? That's the match we all want to see. But someone said, like, what if at All Out it's a 6-man and it's FTR and Hangman Page versus the Young Bucks and Omega? And that got me thinking of, like, what an amazing, not just a brilliant match it'd be, but what a wicked poster as well, where you've got the tag team champions on opposite teams. I think there's something really spicy within that I really like.
Oh, it is spicy. Yeah, I just thought it was excellent storytelling, and in the best way of these kinds of angles and character turns. And this wasn't like shock heel turn. This was first incremental step to a larger piece of character development and overall an arc, which I much prefer. You know, the shock stuff has its place, definitely, but ultimately the long stories, the long booking is the most sort of dramatically satisfying. But it just makes me so excited about the future of the company. It makes me excited about seeing next week's episode to see what happens next. And that's all you can ask for.
I was going to say, next week's episode's got Hangman Page in a singles match against 5 from the Dark Order with Brody Lee in the corner. And like on paper, you're like, you know, it's Hangman Page versus 5. You know, who the F is 5 in the Dark Order? But with all of this, I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to see that Hangman Page match, because it's not really about the match now. I just want to see what all the outside stuff could be. And the Dark Order, they're ranked number 1 in the tag division. So there's some stuff there as well. I'm just, yeah, I'm dead excited. Dead excited.
Oh yeah, those rankings are really stuck to as well. Yeah, I guess you've got, because you'll have 5 with the Dark Order out there. That's a numbers advantage. Page might want his own buddies, but at the same time, he said, "Don't come out, don't accompany me." I love it.